Hey folks, today I'm going to show you my ocean base. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm in the third person, doing the whole third person Minecraft intro thing, and it feels weird. It feels weird, so I'm going to stop doing that. But the reason that I'm actually hiding what's behind me is I want to show you a little animated GIF that I put together that shows the initial stages of my base. So let's take a look at that. Actually, first, so just to explain a little bit, I made a base in the middle of the ocean. And initially, I didn't put much forethought into it. And I just started, building some blocks right out in the middle of the ocean, bailing out some water, and soon realized that that's not fun at all. That's not something that I'm going to spend much time on, so I needed a new plan. I decided to take an existing island and carve that out into my base, and we'll take a look at that here. So what you see is a natural island, stripped off the top, stripped off all the dirt, picked up some beacons, and carved out the island, and it's starting to take shape here. You see the circle that I made, roughly, 55, maybe 60 blocks in diameter, and that's the base itself, kind of coming out of the ocean. That's what I wanted. That was kind of the original vision for the base, is just, kind of a circle just coming out of the ocean, almost out of nowhere. And one thing you'll notice about the way that I did this with the island is that all of this land is still there. And that actually turned out to be very convenient, because in building this base, what I could do is hollow out the land itself and then build out the rooms, add in the glass roofs, and then just peel off the shell, and then it's just out in the middle of the water, which is much faster than actually just building directly in the water. What else do we have here? This is the railway that comes in from the side. That's where I'm standing in game right there. And actually, let's just jump in. Let's just jump in and take a look here. So back in the game, we see the base right there. Kind of cool. We're going to jump in our cart and view the whole big old thematic entrance here. Thematic. I don't know. Theatric? Yeah, theatric. The theatric entrance is right here as we ride along the railway, and it dumps us off. And this is kind of a neat little system for the cart. You jump in the cart, it shoots you off, and then loads up another cart behind you. So that's kind of neat. I think that's XP Crafted's idea. Fell on YouTube. Kind of neat. Another portal there. Little creeper to welcome us here. Actually, we'll grab some food for the walk. First, I think let's take a look at the upper portion of the base. Out here, obviously, we've got the beacons, which those obviously serve some purpose, but for the most part, I really just want it to be symmetrical, so that the design for those are baked right into the base. Out here, we've got some villagers. And up at the top is that thing. I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't know, maybe a spaceship someday, maybe a big jungle up there. I don't know. I've got a few ideas, but I'm pretty much just building it as I go. Whatever seems to tickle my fancy that night that I happen to be building. So we'll take a look up here. That was a Minecart Elevator. The simplest design for Minecart Elevators, where you just have a minecart sitting there every 4 blocks, 5 blocks, something like that. Very basic, works out great. And up here is just something. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be. Anyways, let's go down to the more interesting stuff. Jump down here and jump right back into the base. Let's see here. In the middle, this middle column, this is more than just the elevator. This is actually the mob farm. Now, my idea for this was I didn't want to just build a basic mob farm where you make it as efficient as possible and you have them drop to their deaths as soon as possible and get as much items per time as you can. I really didn't want to do another one of those. So I made it into an aesthetic piece of the base. Underneath there are the spawning platforms where they spawn, and then they are funneled up this tube. So when you are in the base just walking around, you can look and see the mobs coming up the tube, and it's just kind of a fun little terribly morbid piece. They go up the tube and they drown just out of earshot, and their items fall down into a collection system. So yeah, kind of a neat thing there. Let's see what else we have. Let's dive into the rest of the base. Actually, no, let's go down and take a look at the spawning platforms, because that's another piece to the puzzle. Here's another little character for us to look at. To get down there, we go down these stairs, down to the hostile mob farm. Here are the spawning platforms. And again, I did not design this to be the most efficient. I just wanted it to look cool. Hence the platforms here. After I designed it and put it into practice, I realized that it was spawning spiders, and I did not want spiders because that didn't work with the waterway system. So I had to put these little carpets on to prevent spiders from spawning. So not ideal, but I like it. So that's pretty much all there is to that. Little collection system down there. Nothing too interesting. So we'll jump back up here. And next we will take a look at, let's see here. Let's do the Emerald Factory. Next up we have the Emerald Factory. This is where we go to get, you guessed it, our emeralds. There's the carrot farm right here, potato farm directly underneath, the product of which is delivered to these chests. We have carrots. We have potatoes. The idea is that you walk in, fill your inventory with both, and trade with this fella. And the reason why we have 2 items that we trade is to avoid the lockout, because there's only a chance that you will actually allow him to unlock when you trade, allowing further trades and recycling, cycling through the process. So by having 2 items that you cycle through decreases the likelihood that you will lock out one specific item, wheat as an example, and then have to go and buy something you don't actually want or need, like pumpkin pie. Nobody needs pumpkin. It's terrible. Terrible pumpkin. So over here we have the cow and pig farm. Nothing special. Not a big fan of the cookers or anything like that. I like the good old fashioned farms here. And over here we have the sheep pen. And let me back up a little bit. Before we walk in the pen, as you can see, they're sitting down there. They're chomping at their grass, which allows them to replenish their wool. And when we walk in, they bobble up and down. And we grab our shears, take out our shears, and we trim away their wool. And the wool goes down into the item collection system down there. As you can see, there is a little gap. Those are quartz half slabs down there. Well, let's shut it off. We can take a little better look at that. There's the quartz slabs right there, right there. The wool falls down into the collection system and goes into this box. We can see some it's popping in right there. And that's how that works. So again, you walk in, trim, put your shears back, walk out, and they go back down and eat their grass. And I think that about covers it. And that's, let's see. Yeah, that's the Emerald Factory. And we have a glass tube here. Doesn't really serve any function, just a glass tube. Over here we have the wheat farm. And next up, let's see. Next up, let's do the Villager Eugenics Lab. Now this is something that I covered in a previous video, and this is another take on that. Nothing too different about this from the previous video. I got my villagers all cluttering up the place here. So the idea is that you walk in, you talk to this fella, you determine whether or not you want to keep him, and if you don't, you select death, press the button, and he is sent off to his death, and then you retrieve the next subject and rinse and repeat. Now, if you want to keep him, you select servitude, and you press the button, and he will actually get dumped out of that little hole right there, and then you can take him off and put him in his place. And obviously, as you can see, I have a bunch of extra people that I have not put in their places, and we have horses around. I like most of them to be named Marlin Jr. because movie references. There, here we have the breeder, and the little fellows get spit out. They go right there. When they reach adulthood, they go up into this compartment here, and when you press the button, it shoots out a minecart, picks one up, and shoots them over there. Now, you might think that this is a little bit over complicated, and it would appear that way, but if you actually spit out the minecart right there or right there, it tends to get clogged up, and this worked well. Now on to, let's see, yeah, on to the next part. The whole point of this is I wanted to put together a set of librarians that would give me any enchanting book that I would want. And the next part is the product of that. So we press the little button code that allows us to get through that doorway, and that brings us into here. And this is the area where we have all of our good villagers. We've got the one that does the paper to name tag trade, which has the ideal ratio. What is it, 25 and 20? Yeah, I think that's ideal. But basically, we grab only the best of the villagers that we have, flesh to glowstone, wool shuffle person, and we stick them in this room, and now we have one place to go and grab all of the enchants that we actually need for our items. And now I don't even do the thing anymore where you get a bunch of XP and then you enchant and roll the dice and try to hope that you get the enchant that you want. I simply go in here and purchase the enchant using emeralds from the Emerald Factory. So for example, I will pick up a Unbreaking 2 pickaxe here from this person and pick up a Efficiency 5 book from that person, maybe a Unbreaking 3 and a, what is it? Yeah, Silk Touch. Go over to this person, pick up Silk Touch for 8 emeralds, and assemble my item, and never have to roll the dice and spend a bunch of time doing that. So that's kind of neat. Over here we have the sugarcane farm. This circular design is ZF's design. He's a fella on YouTube. Very cool design. I really liked it, so I built it and put it in my base. The center of this is a glass elevator. So based on a bud switch, it will fire the sugarcane down into that water collection system, and then they will travel up and around and into these chests. So I've got lots of sugarcane, more than I need. And that is, I deliberately put that along with the villager system, because when you're doing those, when you're using the villager eugenics system and trying to find the librarians with the best books, you need a bunch of paper. So that's why this is here. I think that about covers this. You know, I kind of wish I would have put in an override switch for this system so I could actually show you it in action, but I can't. It activates just based on a bud, so that's one regret of mine, but oh well. All right, on to the next thing. Let's take a look at what do we have here? We've got the wheat farm, we've got the Emerald Factory, we have the Eugenics Lab. Let's take a look at the shiny place. So this is a bit of a joke. So anytime a thief comes into the base, they're going to be looking for items to steal from me, and my shiniest of shinies is down in this hallway. And now in reality, there's nobody that comes into my base and takes my things, but kind of a fun thing anyway. So they come in and they're looking for the best things, and they walk down this hallway, this nice enticing hallway where the chest is the focal point, and see nothing but the chest, just an ordinary room, and they see the shinies, and they take my shinies, and then the water comes out and TNT falls on their head and they die. But so a bit of a joke there, kind of neat. There's actually a little collection system that picks up their items, which I say they, but really I think I'm the only one that's actually taken the shiny. So I like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we are in my storage room, and actually that's kind of convenient. This is the last space that I wanted to show in my base. This is the storage room. It's actually tucked away in a secret little place. You pop down out of this area here, and when you want to go back out, you can stand on that. Oop, I broke it. You stand on that slime block, press the button, and it opens up the door, shoots you out, and you're back into the world. But anyways, to the storage room. This is actually somewhat underwhelming, but I like the aesthetics of it anyways. There's nothing too special in here, just basic chests on a wall and a furnace array. And what else do we have here? We have a brewer, auto brewer. I think this is Mumbo's design. Basic idea is you just take out your items, take out the bottles that have already been brewed, and then the water bottles fall back into place, and you press the button and it brews up more for you. Nothing too special there, but I've got health, strength, speed, and fire resist, I believe. And I think that's about it. Oh, this is a one-way nether portal here. This is kind of neat. You walk in, takes you out, and then a few seconds later it will it'll extinguish that nether portal, so that when you go back in, you get dumped out into the main nether portal in the main entrance of the base, as opposed to in my secret storage area. So pretty convenient. And I think that just about concludes everything that I wanted to show. Let me double check. There's that. Yes. All right, we're done. That's it. That's all I have to show. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.